Let's go Lions! All right, closing out the week. Very slow out of Lions minicamp recently. Haven't heard too much about it. I'll tell you what the NFL media is just adoring is Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford.
It's the new bromance.
It
new
is
offseason bromance
out there in California. Sean McVay's quote went around quite a bit this past week.
I've got it pulled up if you want to read it.
Lay it on me, please.
Bro, this dude's a mad MFer, McVay told Albert Breer, laughing. Whatever people say about him, as good as it can be, he's even better than advertised. It makes sense to him. The guy's ability to see the game, his ability to draw on his experience, the feel that he has, it's pretty special and unique. And man, his feel for people, his authentic way of connecting with his teammates, his coaches, this guy, it's great being around him. That's the quote.
It's Matthew Stafford to a T.
It's a good summary of him, I feel like, in his time here for sure.
Absolutely.
The word warrior wasn't used. So
wow,
that's the only thing that's missing,
yes.
I think.
Yes. But I feel like that is just going to be an ongoing thing, especially if they're good this year. He is just going to pop off in the media.
I think a lot of people are already kind of like he's the betting favorite for dark horse MVP and all this stuff and like this comeback player of the year kind of thing. Can you be a comeback player of the year if your team was just shitty and like you're on a new team?
No, I don't think so.
Then maybe he won't get that.
I think there's a most improved player of the year, but I highly doubt he can get that at this point.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch the bromance kind of unfold here, and it's just more dirt thrown on Goff, I feel like, unintentionally maybe.
100% unintentionally, and it's also like, I don't know, it almost feels like dirt thrown at Detroit a little bit too. That's
the narrative I'm more scared of is when Stafford potentially is lighting it up and he pops off.
And everybody just starts going, man, Detroit wasted this guy. Yeah.
We're already seeing some of that in social media comments, and then God forbid the time comes where we draft another top quarterback prospect. Everyone's gonna be like, they're gonna waste his career. He's gonna waste his career.
Absolutely.
So I'm fully ready for this chain of events to unfold.
Yeah. No, I'm not looking forward to it. But at the same time, I am. I really do hope that he has a phenomenal season.
I'm rooting for him. The podcast we've been saying we're rooting for him, and we're gonna miss him. He's set up to succeed. It's funny. This is the Lions segment, and we're talking about a former Lion right now. But I think it is a conversation that we're probably going to be having quite a bit here, just because he was such a huge part of this team, and it's such like a huge franchise-altering move to move on. It's like 100%. You have to kind of just watch and see where it's going to go.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to watch. I'm not excited if it does pan out really well for them. I'm not excited to see McVay. I'm not excited to see him be so smug about it.
I think he's definitely a super talented offensive mind, and he's like, I know people throw the word genius around a lot about it, and sure, I mean, I'll say that's probably a pretty good way to describe him, but like, he does seem like kind of a D-bag.
Yeah.
To me, I don't know. Like,
I'm starting to get that vibe too.
He seems like a little bit of a douche. I don't know if I'd want to hang out with him.
Maybe we just turn on everybody as soon as they start relating back to us. I don't know. Because I mean, like, McVay was never really on my radar. Like,
well, it's personal for us now, right?
Yeah, it is 100%. Like, you know, like they're talking about our guy,
right?
You know, like even though we traded him to LA so he can go have a better career, he's still, you know, like Detroit's guy.
It's funny. I feel like it's one of those things. You know, we probably had a shot at a point in time to hire that guy as our head coach, and just didn't. And if he were our head coach, we'd probably be pumping our fists in the air and loving life and everything like that. But the fact that he's on the Rams and the fact that he has our beloved Matthew Stafford, we're like, exactly.
As soon as Justin Fields goes to the Bear, I hope that guy has a shit season.
Well, let's flip it the opposite way.
Yeah.
We're gonna flip it to Jared Goff now, because before we started the show, I was kind of just skimming headlines and some stuff to talk about, and Sports Illustrated, literally a couple minutes before we started recording, posted some quote from Brad Holmes, essentially saying that he has never viewed Jared Goff as a bridge quarterback, and I think the narrative around here is that's absolutely what he is.
I would 100% agree with you.
I think that everyone's kind of thinking this team's going to be kind of crappy for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And if we're picking top 3 next year, and you've got that kid from Oklahoma, whatever his name is, Spencer Rattler, I think.
Rattler.
You got one of those guys sitting
I
there.
can't tell if that's a great name or a horrible name.
So if he's sitting there, is Jared Goff still the guy who's not the bridge? I think once again Brad Holmes is doing the ace GM thing here. He's just saying what he has to say.
Yeah, I think that is what it comes down to.
Because I know that it's tricky too, man, because the contract is so big now. It's like they restructured it a little bit too. But I think he's saying the right thing. I think you have to hype him up. You have to, again, we talk about all the time on the show, give him a legit shot, see what you have with him, because he could surprise people. Maybe. Who knows, right?
I mean, he very well could. You never know. The way that we're building this team out, it really does seem like we have a shot at surprising some people.
You want to hear a couple little factoids that they listed in the same Sports Illustrated article with this quote?
Comparing him to Stafford.
And I know it's kind of maybe a smoke show a little bit.
It's apples to oranges because the team that Goff had is not the team that Stafford had.
Let me see if I can pull this up. Maybe not. Fill the airtime, Lucas. What do you got?
Al's going to pull up these stats, and it's basically cherry picking stats, saying that Goff has a higher quarterback percentage or QBR quarterback rating, and he's got more playoff wins, and he's got more wins, and he's got et cetera, et cetera. Cherry picking stats. It comes down to the fact that Goff played for the LA Rams, who have been an absolute powerhouse for the past 4 years, majority part of his career, and Stafford's played for the SOL Lions, the same old Lions.
Here's the stats or little bullet points, I guess, from the article for your new Detroit Lions quarterback Jared Goff, comparing him to Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford's 33, Goff is 26. I don't see how that's a.
He's young.
Sure, he's younger. Okay.
Spry. He's more flexible.
Stafford has a career passer rating of 89.9. Goff has a career passer rating of 91.5.
Okay, so not that much different. And Stafford's also had 7
a
more
much
years.
Worse cast around him.
A much worse cast with 7 more years in the league.
Although, I mean, Stafford's had some good receivers, though, because he had Calvin, he had Golden Tate.
Phenomenal receivers.
So,
absolutely.
He's got reason to put up good numbers.
0 running game and literally one of the worst offensive lines in the league.
Right, but how about this?
Okay.
Stafford has been named to the Pro Bowl once in 12 NFL seasons. Goff has been named to the Pro Bowl twice in 5 seasons.
That's because everybody hates Detroit.
Oh, but how about this? Stafford has a career record of 74-90-1 as a starter, losing record in each of his past 3 seasons. Goff has a career record of 42-27 as a starter and a winning record in each of his past 4 seasons.
Plummet. That will absolutely plummet now that he's playing for the Lions.
Okay, but what about this? Stafford has 3 postseason games and is 0-3. Goff has started 6 postseason games and has a 3-3 record, not including last postseason's victory over the Seattle Seahawks when he played virtually the entire game. And he wasn't really. I think John Walford started that game.
Some no-name chump that had absolutely no business starting.
The guy who's getting Stafford's water bottle for him now on the bench.
The guy that will probably never see the field again.
And the last one, this one's good.
And again, like that one, it goes right back to frickin' it's the Lions versus the Rams.
Here's the best one, I think. Stafford has never gotten his team past the first round of the playoffs. Goff took his team to the Super Bowl in the 2018 season.
You know what else is really funny? Let's pull this stat out. Goff has 1 win in the playoffs where he went to the Super Bowl, and yet the win right before it should not have been a win.
Yeah, I don't know what you're referring to on that one. You got to refresh my memory.
The game against the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, the Mikel Roby-Coleman play.
It was clearly pass interference.
Oh, yeah, that was horrible.
And then Stafford has a game where they should have won.
The Cowboys game.
But because of the bitch-ass referee that picked that flag up, and don't bleep bitch-ass. I want that in the pod.
All right, I'll leave it.
That bitch-ass referee picked the flag up, and that cost us to lose the game. And so, where's that stat, Sports Illustrated?
I never saw my dad more angry at anything in my entire life than he was after that Lions game.
I don't blame him.
He was super
That was
angry.
preposterous.
No, I mean all these little factoids. I mean, yeah, it's you phrased it perfectly. It's the Lions versus the Rams. It's not; these aren't equivalent. If you had Matthew Stafford on those Rams teams and Jared Goff on those Lions teams, this would be
Goff would be out of the league.
He'd have like Blake Bortles numbers probably or something like that. Goff did have a really, really good year, I think, in 2018, the year they went to the Super Bowl, though. I mean, he had a great season.
He had a phenomenal season.
If we can just capture
that system was working to perfection.
If we can just capture a little bit of that lightning in a bottle, and really just like find out what was the special sauce there and like just replicate it.
It'll surprise a lot of people if we can do that.
Yeah. He doesn't have a great cast around him right now, though, so it's looking like an uphill climb for him. Again, Brad Holmes saying the right things here, but these two are not. It's really not a fair comparison between their accolades at this point in the NFL.
Absolutely not.
Well, we got one more Lions. It's not even it's a former Lions personnel person here, but
let's just talk on it for 50 seconds. Let's get it out in the air, just because you know what, I want to bury this guy.
It's a story. It's a couple weeks old too, but the Boston Globe had reported that there was a sense that Matt Patricia, our dear friend, is legitimately in line to be the successor of Bill Belichick in New England. Like the next, not Josh McDaniels, Matt Patricia, rocket scientist Patricia, is in lockstep right now to be the next head coach of the Patriots when Bill decides to leave or hang it up or whatever he's going to do.
That's like going from Peyton Manning to Brock Osweiler.
It's like going from getting a premium sushi dinner at like a top rated sushi like restaurant to getting 7-Eleven gas station sushi somewhere. I mean, it
is like it's like going to see Bruce Springsteen open for Fish.
Well, okay. They were talking about this on NFL radio a couple of weeks ago, and I was driving around too, and they were, and I think I talked about this on the pod previously too, that they were still showering Matt Patricia with praise.
It's so stupid.
They were still being like, now he might not have worked out in Detroit, but he is a very smart man, and he's got great football mind, and I'm like, he went 20 something, and like, what was his record? His final record?
What, 20? I don't know where you're getting 20 from. That guy didn't sniff 20.
His record was horrible in 3 seasons, and he destroyed this franchise.
Oh yeah, sent it back 15 years.
Him and Bob Quinn destroyed what foundation there was here. The ironic part being that he self-proclaimed thought that it needed to be fixed, and he was going to do it. Yeah, to begin with. So, anyways, it's stupid. We're not going to talk about that man anymore on the show. We just thought we'd bring it up, unless something really crazy happens. But I don't know. It's a slow news week. I saw the article. I thought we'd talk about it.
Yeah, and it's always nice to kind of just bury somebody that kind of like bent us over a table.
Bury someone who buried us.
Yeah, exactly. And if that guy gets a head coaching job ever again in the NFL, I will be front row to watch that explosion happen.
100%, dude. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Would love to see it. After Bill Belichick builds that dynasty up to what it is, just to watch that fathead ruin it all.
Man, imagine if he actually was handed the keys to a dynasty team. Like he was handed the keys to the Lions, and he rode that thing into the ground. Imagine he was handed the keys to the New England Patriots, the most winning football team probably ever.
I think you can make that argument that they are. I mean, historically, probably not, but they had the most Super Bowl wins of any franchise. So I don't know how you argue with that.